Hey buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we are checking out an Anthony Padilla video. I know he's made a few of these with different other creators, and I've actually never checked any of them out, but I know he's done these. But when I saw he did one with Jaiden, I was like, oh, heck yeah, I gotta check it out. So this is I Spent a Day with JAIDEN Animations. Link is in the description box below for you to check out. Now let's get started.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Visit betterhelp.com/Padilla because sometimes existing is exhausting. My name's Anthony Padilla, and today I'll be spending a day with JAIDEN Animations, the incredibly popular, beloved, and vulnerable YouTube animator, to learn what it's like to rise to fame and now run one of the most popular animation channels on the internet. By the end of this video, we'll learn the truth behind Jaiden's leaked face reveal and what Jaiden's future really looks like. Has animating for her 10 million subscribers been a wholly rewarding experience, or has it come with struggles and hardship far more cruel than anyone could ever imagine? Hello, Jaiden.
Hey, Anthony.
How do you think things have changed most since we last talked 2 years ago?
I've just been like tunnel visioned on like, I want to make this video, so I'm gonna make it, and then I'll be like, I want to make this video, and then I make it, and then here we are 2 years later. And you're like, what have you been changing? I was like, I have no idea. I'm just doing what I want.
They already gave me a real dog at that point, but this was good for stopping me before I started trying to ask for another. Because boy, did I not take care of the first one.
I'm sitting comfortable, so I'm gonna make what makes me laugh.
That's good.
I like, so
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Everyone else can just hop on board or get out.
That's good to be in a place where you make the content.
There were so many comments from people being like, holy shit, Jaiden face reveal? Like, there were so many people that I thought that was the first time you'd ever revealed your face.
I'm not like out there or anything. I don't think I've shown my face on my channel more than 2 times, and it's just for like a second. I have it set up where if you want to find it, it's out there, but you're not probably going to find it on my channel.
So it's like this way you don't have to face reveal. Do everything in your power to stay anonymous. It's like, yeah, people will see it.
Yeah.
So you're a little bit more comfortable. You're not always nervous.
Yeah.
But also it's not.
And she had live streams.
When I was younger and like, more self-conscious, like sad. I was like, I don't want my face out there. I'm too like anxious, self-conscious, like didn't like myself. So I was like, I'm gonna not put it out there because it makes me like really nervous. And then now I've grown up and gotten more confident in myself, and I still don't want to like have it out there all the time, but it's like it's not as big of a deal.
You had at least like 2, maybe 3 years on YouTube where you never revealed your face at all.
I don't think I was worried about what people would say, because people on the internet lie and will be like, oh, Jaiden, I like your stuff. You're awesome.
You think people are lying when they say positive things about you?
I feel like they're biased. I want the truth. I was like, I don't believe them, and I just, all my feelings are the loudest. In my own head, I was very upset about it, like worrying about that stuff.
So then when did your face reveal finally happen?
So it seems like, because that is something that happens, there's like a duality there. There's like the mental health aspect of where when people compliment you, you automatically think that it's not true and that it's a lie because you have a certain view of yourself that may not be the same in regards to level of positivity. There's also imposter syndrome. There's also the aspect of there actually being a bias where someone will tell you you're great, but not actually have a reason to tell you you're great, which is something I can understand as well. Seeing when someone says, man, you're so awesome, I love you. And then if you were to ask them, what about me do you really like? And it takes them a while to think of something. Then it was like, okay, I think you do have an affinity, but you don't really have like a list of reasons you actually like me. I can understand that. I do want to say that I know she's not saying this about all her fans, neither am I. But you know how somebody could be a fan of something, and whenever that person does another thing, they automatically love it and are biased, like she said, to that without having a in-depth list of reasons as to why they really like this thing this person made.
First time I ever went to VidCon, people are gonna see me, so I need to just like get over it and stuff. It was like a really stressful VidCon where I was very self-conscious and like scared.
That was your kind of face reveal in a sense, but it wasn't supposed to be for the internet. It was supposed to be for the people there in person.
Yeah, and then like one of the people in the groups was like vlogging and like in my face and stuff. And then after VidCon and he was like getting the video together for his vlog, I was like, can we like edit my face out? I'm actually not that comfortable with it. And they're like, yeah. Like I was like, I'll edit it myself. I edited it all. It took like a couple hours and I sent it back. And then he's like, I think I'm gonna put the one with your face up.
Why?
And I was like, oh, okay.
After
have, like,
all the time you've edited?
This is Jaiden's face reveal on my channel.
They had like, you know, Jaiden, like VidCon vlog featuring Jaiden. My name was first and like they put hashtag Jaiden face reveal and stuff in the tags and stuff. And I was like, okay.
You're really willing to burn some bridges to get an exclusive.
I was like self-conscious enough to be like, oh, I guess I'm in the wrong here.
So after this person
leaked, what they did,
I'll say leaked your face between that time period and then you actually revealing it yourself. How long was that and what was that time period like?
Half a year, 6 months, I felt awful. I was like, get used to it, but I'm really not comfortable right now, but it's out there, so my emotions don't really matter.
You just have to kind of deal with it?
Yeah, it was just me trying to come to terms with being okay, even though I was in a very early stage.
You're like, I have to be comfortable with this because I have no choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Your official
But I do feel like she does have agency in that. Like, when you did make the request and you asked them not to include your face, so they should not have. And it's clear, like here's the thing. If they had just posted the video, didn't make a stink about it, didn't put like her name and all this other stuff, then I think it wouldn't have been as bad. Some people would be like, oh, that's Jaiden. But there's a sense of being used there. The fact that her name, like and I don't know which vlog or picture is the one that's there. Because if it's the one with all those other ones, you have James, I couldn't tell. Some of the other faces were kind of the line across their eyes. It's hard to tell which person it is. But you had other animators there. So the fact that you put her name first and you put hashtag Jaiden face reveal, it's something that you were wanting to do. You wanted to expose her. And that I don't feel is right. And I feel like they definitely shouldn't have done that. They took away her agency. They took away her ownness of herself and her identity and her taking the opportunity to put herself out there in the manner that she thought was best. So this is definitely not a situation where she was in the wrong. She asked and they did this whole thing about it. So that they were wrong.
Reveal was super vulnerable. Like you went into all the details about what was going on internally,
I remember that one.
Why you didn't face reveal, like how self-conscious you were, just kind of like self-esteem issues, how you were going through an eating disorder in that time period. And at the end of that video, you revealed your face for like 1 second. Yeah, 1 second.
I felt like I had to explain why I didn't have her face revealed, but my face was already revealed.
Every person I met, the voice inside me said, "You're such a disappointment. You aren't good enough for them." I felt like I could feel every single person's discontent through their embrace.
And like all my things that I've been dealing with or thinking about and struggling with, and just like explain the situation a little bit.
I love that she
and be like, also,
honest.
like, wasn't my choice.
How did you feel before pressing that upload button, or did you like have to take like a couple deep breaths?
I scheduled it and I left.
Oh, really?
People started texting me like, oh my God, your video. I was like, oh, I can't look at the phone.
I've interviewed lots of faceless YouTubers who have not revealed their face yet, and we talk a lot about like the anxiety surrounding that, but I've never actually sat down with someone who was faceless at some point and then revealed their face.
Right.
What was the aftermath of your face reveal like?
Well, I think mine is inherently different because it's not like, hey guys, happy music, here's my face. It was like, I am very depressed and I am struggling. Here's my face anyway. I didn't want it out. So it was like a lot of support. It still took me like a while to like get more comfortable in my own skin. I have a very like shy, anxious persona online, and that was true when I was like 16 and sad. I wouldn't say that I don't relate to that person anymore. I'm just like a different person now.
Does any part of you wish that you were still faceless?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Just having my little cartoon character, and I would like people to really just see
there's an
me
ease
as
in
that
that
person. It's a double-edged sword. Like I really like going to conventions and stuff and like having fun on panels and meeting fans and
doing
stuff.
interviews.
But it can't. Yes.
and talking
So I
to
think
people.
the
Yeah.
level I'm at right now is pretty comfortable.
Where people can see your face if they really want, but it's like
Yeah, they
so
have to
not a
go
big
out of their
deal.
way to find it, really.
How
Right,
much of you has
that's good.
changed since that video?
Not struggling with an eating disorder anymore.
That's good.
I'd
That's
say
good.
I'm much more confident in myself, being like around confident people and people who are like have their shit together. And it's like I was worried that like if I became sure of myself and confident, I would be arrogant and cocky.
Yes.
So it's like I was terrified of that, so I kept myself down as being anxious and
Oh,
self-conscious.
wow.
But I found people who have found the healthy middle. And I'm like, oh,
A
that.
healthy place.
You can not hate yourself, but then also not be arrogant?
No
Right?
one told me that.
I have went through that.
I understand that. I understand that. It's like I would say that's one of my things. It's part of that imposter syndrome thing where seeming like you have it together can come off. It can be offensive to other people and insulting other people. And other people think that, oh, you think that you're better than them because you've got your stuff together and you've got a certain level of success or you've done certain things. That's something that I would say I've gotten a little bit better, but that is a struggle that I have. It's that aspect of a healthy balance of being okay, seeming okay, and portraying that I'm okay, that type of thing.
As well, where it was almost like the more confident I started to feel, the more I started to get scared that I was going to become arrogant, and the more I beat myself up and made myself feel guilty and selfish and all these other things just to keep me down.
When you like identify yourself as the shy, anxious, like self-conscious person and you start working on that, it feels like once you don't have that anymore, you don't know who you are.
I mean, with your eating disorder, you kind of mentioned a little bit that it was like a little bit of control that you were looking for, a little control in your life.
When I went to college and realized I had to be a person, I was like, oh, let's see where I'm at. I was like, I hate myself. Controlling what I ate felt like the only thing I could do.
I also dealt with something similar where I was heavily into calorie counting and like seeing the numbers there made me feel like I had control. I don't know what I was going through at the time, but I felt like everything was out of control, and that was the one thing that I could grasp.
Yeah, look at my number. Look how low it is. So
See, I accomplished getting that number low. Do you have any idea how hard it is to do that? I did that. How did you get past that?
I dealt with it for X amount of months, and then I was like, you know what, this sucks. I feel awful. I'm cold all the time. It's summer in Arizona, and I've got a blanket on.
So
and
you just decided you're good with it?
I was like, dude, I can't.
Was that a struggle stopping that cycle?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I was just like, I need to get better. Otherwise, I'm not gonna I'll be stuck like this forever, which is unhappy. And it took like many, many years and stuff. But it's gotten to a point where it feels very natural, and I'm pretty satisfied.
And that sense of control that you had before, you kind of start to realize that it controlled you.
It pops up here and there, just like,
hey, you wanna come back? Life has been kind of hard recently. How about you? Do you want to control something?
Everyone who has had an eating disorder is probably going to have to battle
through that for the rest of their life. I love the way that they are approaching it. They're being them, and I think that there's such an honest sincerity in that. In that, I feel like some people, when they're talking about certain things like this, they are like, okay, we have to shy away from smiling in any manner or telling any types of jokes because it's a serious thing and it's got to be firm serious. But the thing is, in life, we're fluid. We may be depressed, but we do laugh sometimes. It's not like we never laugh, you know? So to have moments where you are just being you, you're owning your moment, owning who you are, owning your thought process in that moment is pretty awesome.
Or manage
despite the
for the rest of their life, but it's at a good point.
The art of blowing up.
What first got you into the world of YouTube animation?
I used to be really obsessed with Minecraft. 14 years old. I played every day after school with my brother. And then one day it just like my laptop broke. I was like, I need to watch Minecraft if I can't play it. So I typed it into YouTube and I found Minecraft YouTube channels. I found this channel called Cupquake. Then they started putting fan art at the end of their videos. And I was like, oh, I want to get my drawing in their video. And then they put it in the video, and I was like, oh, that was like the highest I've ever been in my life. They were saying like, oh, we want to see if we can find an animator to do animated gaming content. I sent another fan art and then a message. I was like, I could try to animate for you. So they reached out and they're like, do you have anything to show? Do you have any animations? And I was like, no.
Oh dear, oh dear,
so
oh dear.
I like drew something, like a tiny little whatever, and then they're like, yeah, we'll hire you.
So what were you doing?
Awesome.
Were you Googling how do I animate?
Yeah. The reason I was aware of animation was in my junior year of high school, my parents were like, oh, we need to figure out what you want to do for
life?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and my mom was like, how about you work for Pixar? So they put me in a 3D animation class, and I hated it, but I was still interested in animation, so I just typed into YouTube how to animate, and then I was like, here you go. A month later, the video hit 1 million views, and I messaged them. I was like, the video hit 1 million views. Thank you for having me. And they're like, oh yeah, of course. Do you want to do another? I was like, yes.
That's awesome.
Every single time, I'm like, you guys shouldn't have hired me. It worked out, luckily.
Yeah.
And then as I grew, I was like, oh, imposter syndrome. I was like, I don't know the ratio of people who are just watching because I'm the Aya's Cupquake animator girl, or if they just like my
doing
stuff.
her own channel.
Was there a moment when you realized, oh shit, this could be my career. This could be a lifelong thing?
When I went into college, I had to kind of put it on the sidelines. Halfway into the college year, I was like, this is too hard. I really want to do like YouTube. So I went up to my parents and I was like, hello, parents.
Oh dear.
I think I want to quit college.
What did they say?
Well, my dad was really like supportive. He's always been like,
good.
you know, I just want you to do what you want to do and be happy. And then my mom's like, okay, hold on. We need to make sure you have like a safety net. Basically just decided I can take a year off to do YouTube full time. And in that year, if I can make X amount of money, then they'll be like, we have no reason to not believe that you can not
I think that's a fair conversation.
We didn't even get a couple months in and they're like, you're fine. And they've been supportive ever since.
What has been your most bizarre fan experience?
This person found my mom's phone number and would constantly call her saying like, I think I'm your long lost son. And Jaiden's my sister.
Your mom would know if she had a long lost son.
Yeah, you don't ask the mother.
Right. The father wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Dad had to like pick up and be like, stop calling. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'm not your son.
Dear,
I think I'm just in love with Jaiden.
Oh my goodness. That is bizarre. That is
your most popular video that you've ever made. It's your Pokemon Nuzlocke.
There's a set of self-imposed rules you can add to the games to make
this
them
is the
more
one
challenging.
that we saw. Yeah, we checked this out.
I definitely didn't expect it to like blow up. I really liked Pokemon YouTubers and stuff, and I watched Nuzlocks all the time, and I always wanted to do one. And I figured like, oh, I do animation. It's not really compatible. And I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. F it. I'm happy that actually I think Nuzlocks have started becoming more popular again.
For me, I love the like how it kind of became a new chapter in the content that she was making, where she would do gaming things and then do a storytime animation about this moment when she was playing this game and what was happening and stuff like that. That's what made me play the Cooking Mama game that I fiercely was frustrated and raged out playing. I still enjoy it, you know, and I still will continue to do it with you guys. I just need some space in between the times that I play it, because that game makes me want to burn a building, okay? But it brought this new chapter for content that I really, really enjoyed.
I don't want to take credit, but maybe from my video.
It's all because of Jaiden Animations. Round of applause for bringing it back. How many hours do you put into each video, and how many hours does each of your team members put into the video?
For the past Nuzlocke we did, I recorded it in September and we posted at the very end of December. So it was like 3 months of like constant work.
And I could see a lot of people being like, that is so much work. Like how could it be worth it to put that much time into just one YouTube video? But then you see your video has 66 million views, obviously.
Wow.
It's also just like, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and so I'm willing to do it.
That's good, that's good, that's good. I think that's important.
What do you think have been some of the toughest moments of having so many eyes on you at all times?
Before, it was a lot of imposter syndrome. I was very self-conscious, anxious, depressed, and stuff, so it was a lot. And now I'm kind of like, It's just how it is.
So you don't become like obsessed
just how it
with
is.
how's the video doing or what do people think of it?
I don't. I know I have a very addictive personality. So if I start trying to obsess over numbers and try to optimize and stuff, first of all, I really can't because of animation. And second of all, I just
as far as
get
time.
sad. So I'm like, I'm not gonna even start going down that path.
You mentioned that you've been journaling a lot more lately. Has that been helping you as well?
Yeah, I've always journaled when I've been at very detrimental points in my life.
Yeah.
Same.
Like with the eating disorder, with the face reveal, with like various other things, just journaling and writing down my thoughts because I keep everything to myself. I'm like, I'll figure it out by myself. I'll get over it by myself. Other people can't help. And I also feel like, you know, since it's my problem, other people can only like give their opinion. So journaling helps me get more in touch with what I'm thinking.
When you get like thousands of these different small little feelings all
She has a lot of
up,
self-assurance,
they, like,
which is really cool.
and they just sit there within you.
I've built like the tendency to just take one thought and think it over and over and over until I finally have figured it out myself. And then I'm like, okay, this is the emotion. Now I gotta stop feeling that, and I'll push it away.
Right.
Now I have dissociation problems.
How's that working?
I feel very numb. But I'm working on it.
That's good. Keep working on it.
You still have a pile building there, but you're slowly chipping away.
Yeah, writing it down and helps me like figuring it out, and also therapy, of course.
Before we continue learning about the world of Jaiden Animations, there's been rampant lewd art created based on your character.
I haven't said.
Dear, yikes.
There's been rampant lewd and X-rated art created based on your your
Yikes.
I would agree.
And it is so rampant that there are videos out there of people saying, this is too much, this needs to stop. Have you ever talked about any of this?
No, I haven't. And people
I didn't
have
know
thought that I
happened.
have. There's rumors, people say she's said this or she said this, and it's like, you're all wrong. I haven't said anything, and you're crazy to think that I would.
Because like, if you bring it up, then it draws more attention to it.
Exactly.
There's the people who know about it and are telling me to say something about it.
Yeah.
There's the people who are making it, who are aware of it, and then there's the general audience who doesn't know.
Yeah,
so why
which I
would
didn't.
I talk about it and just make them aware of it? People are like, think that I have a choice on like, hey, let's take it all down. It's like, that's not how it works. Would I encourage it? No. Do I want it? No. Do I have a choice? No. I've talked to like managers and people who like are connected to Google, and I've like, can we like do something? And they're like, let me check. And they'll come back to me and be like, nope. I wish that like children and my family members and all my friends can't find it immediately. I just wish that it wasn't so easily accessible. And the people who are making the videos really, they make me a little bit more upset because they're pretending to take the moral high ground on like, this is horrible.
Right.
When they're the ones who are really like
sharing
profiting and benefiting. And you can't pretend to be the good person in this scenario. Like, to put it lightly, I don't really appreciate it.
Yikes.
How do you choose what to share?
I didn't know people were
with
doing
your
that. But in
versus
hindsight, they have them for everything, like Rule 34, which I only learned about Rule 34, I think, last year. I've never used it, but there is a channel that me and my husband would watch a lot. And they would go through a lot of Rule 34 stuff, but about games. So they would play a game and then they would go through, but they blurred out a lot of the images because a lot of it they couldn't even really show. And I was like, what site are they on? And then they mentioned it. I didn't know there was one for like, which makes sense. You know, they have them for video games. They have them for anime. They have them for anything. They would have them for creators as well. So it's just never anything I knew of. And I'm not going to search it, of course.
Keep private.
Even though I have told like a lot of stories, I think I still am as private as possible. I've focused a lot on like my personal and IRL friendships and people that I genuinely care about. I will share things with them. The internet is not a place where I want validation or need it or care about people's opinions.
I get my feelings hurt sometimes by negative comments, of course. Thank you so much for leaving some of those down below. But then also I feel really good when I receive a positive comment, and I kind of realized that if I'm going to give weight to any of them, then I gave weight to all of them. So I kind of need to give weight to none of them.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of hard because I'm like, I want to show appreciation to people that do leave positive things, but you kind of just have to numb yourself from it, from all of it, so that the hurtful stuff doesn't hurt you.
It's very addictive to just go all in, but
like, I mean, everybody has different views and different perspectives. For me, when it comes to the comments, I think everybody's approach is unique. As far as creators to the comments that you get. Some people highlight negative comments or engage heavily. I'm not a heavy engager. I will say when it comes to like negative comments, I'll heart comments that are positive and things like that. And sometimes I'll say something. I do, like, it, depending on the comment, I will give a lot of weight to it. Like if it's a good... if it's like a really good positive comment with some type of detail that's not just, you know, oh, this was a great video, I'll heart it because I appreciate you taking the time to say something, because I really do appreciate that. But I find more value in comments that have like a detail, like, oh, when some people quote something I say in the video, you clearly watched the video and this is definitive of that because you're quoting something that I said in the video. Or they're talking about a question, they answer a question I've asked in the video. I'm like, okay, this person definitely watched the video. All the comments that say first, second, and then the people that are angry that people said first or second, I don't give any weight to that. I just either sometimes delete it or just leave it and just keep it moving. When it comes to negative comments, I will have to say that it depends on what it is. Each one is different. And I don't see them all, but there are some where when they come for like my character, like who I am as a person, then I do feel at times I need to defend myself. And that it again depends on what they're saying, right? Sometimes I've seen racist comments and I'll delete them, or I'll laugh because this person's clearly an idiot or an ignoramus, and then I just delete it. I do a lot of deleting when I see them. But if they catch me on a good day at a good time and put some ignorant ish in the comment section, and I got the time today to reply to you, you gonna get a reply, right? But again, that's not something that I often do. And it's not something I often do or always do. More times than not, if I see something negative, I delete it. Because I'm not going to give that person the time of day. But some people, you catch me at a certain time that I see that, and I'm like, okay, I got to talk to you. You need some knowledge. And I'm going to give you some knowledge right now, okay, with a left hook, right hook in the comment section. But also the other reason I don't heavily engage with negative comments is I don't want to unleash because that has happened where someone said something and there was a time I misunderstood it. What they were saying was not rude, but it's just the way they wrote it was rude. And then when I replied, and then this onslaught came, and the person was like, that's not even what I meant. I wrote it wrong. What I was trying to say was this. And could they be lying after receiving a lashing from a lot of fans? Yeah, they could be. But on the possibility that they're telling the truth, I was like, you know what? Let me be mindful of unleashing buddies on somebody in the comment section.
It's just like, it's people that I am very appreciative about.
I see your social skills have only remained
I appreciate
top-notch since our last interview.
Thanks.
You just burped?
She's comfortable.
Of course, I am very appreciative of all the support and people that are very nice and supportive. In the grand scheme of things, no one's opinion on the internet really is super valuable to me personally.
I could see some people saying like, oh, that's harsh, I'm a fan and yet you don't necessarily care about my opinions.
Yeah.
But like, the truth is that's
parasocial, baby.
It's parasocial.
No matter what you think.
Hold on, what's parasocial? That's a term
Oh, that's harsh, I'm a fan and yet you don't necessarily care about my opinions.
Yeah.
But like, the truth is that's
parasocial.
Okay, describing one-sided relationships as, for example, between celebrities and their audience or fans. Okay.
baby.
It's parasocial.
No matter what you think I'm like, I'm always going to be just a little bit different. People will never fully be able to see me as a person. It's always the idea of Jaiden.
I understand that.
So what's next for you? Do you have like big aspirations and plans to do something that's just like astronomical, out of this world? Or
I just go video to video. We kind of just finished a big project, which was the anime intro. I think it's the coolest thing that we've made. I'm really just trying to enjoy the time that I have here, make it as long as possible on a like very growing and non-stopping platform.
Yeah.
So I don't have plans to leave. I just am gonna make my silly videos, have a fun time, maybe make people have also a good time.
Yeah. Anna wants to know if you still like thought on your pasta.
I had a lisp as a kid, and then I said that I had a lisp, and people bully me now.
Was that one of your fans bullying you?
I said that was like something I was bullied by my family about, and then people were like, "Let's continue that. Let's keep doing that."
Anything you give to the internet, any weak point, people are like,
"We like weak points."
This was permission. Yes, she served it on a silver platter.
Let's
what
do
do you think
it.
is the biggest misconception?
That's cute though.
That I'm still very shy, anxious. Like maybe when I was 16, but I've been on here for like 6 or 7 years now. I've kind of learned the ropes, and you know, I'm all good. You guys don't need to like get mad about people for me.
Do you feel like you kind of been boxed into the
like they're defensive
persona that you had when you first started?
Yeah, I think it makes sense because for like 5 or so years, that's how I really was. But since I've developed confidence, I'm more sure of myself. I've kind of figured things out, gotten more over anxiety and depression and stuff that I was struggling with. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm a completely different person, but people keep assuming that I'm still like that. People really don't know me to my core like my friends and family do.
You got 5 seconds to shout out or promote anything you want directly into that camera. Go.
Well, shout out to my team and not Ari. Subscribe to Anthony Padilla, I guess.
That was the most raving review I've ever had. Well, there you have it. I spent a day with JAIDEN Animations, and I feel like I understand her a little bit better. And one thing that really stuck with me is how important it is to not rely on outside sources for validation, because whether you find something positive or not, it can really start to eat at you and speak more loudly than your own voice. I really commend Jaiden's creativity and strength as she shares these deeply vulnerable experiences for millions of people to relate with and apply to their own lives.
I agree. For me, I feel like the thing I learned is that she is not like she said, the shy, full of anxiety person that she was. She does have a lot of things she's still working on, right? As we all are, right? But for me, I always thought, because again, I only know her through these videos. It's not like I've ever even talked to her or even had a conversation or hung out. So the only thing I know is from the videos. And since when I first got in, when I was first come across her content, right? It was from that aspect and of her telling her stories from when she was a kid and how she was and all that stuff. So that painted a picture for me that I would always keep her in, not realizing that she is, and I mean, it's idiotic to say, but not realizing that that's what I was doing, was putting her in this mold, and every video she was in this mold for me. This gave me the realization, as I am also a person, right? And I put out videos, you guys get this snippet of me, and you guys get this idea of who I am, and you've created a picture from what you've seen in my videos. And we grow as people, we change as people, we evolve as people. So I learned that she's not the shy, like little dove that you've got to like really, really protect. And I'm really happy that I got to see that. It's an aspect of, because since we've known of the struggles that she's had, it's kind of been like, oh, Jaiden, protect her, defend her, stand up for her. And I'm not saying that nobody should do it. Don't stand up for her anymore. She's good. But my mindset is, okay, she's great. She's doing well. She's doing very well. Mentally, she's doing very well, emotionally. And yes, she's still working on things, but seeing her like in a situation, I'll be like, oh, she got it. So it's not something that we have to severely worry about. And even this is definitely gonna change how I look at her videos when I watch her videos, not having that perspective of that she's like this little dove that needs to be protected, but just someone sharing their stories from when they were younger and different experiences that they may currently have, just not from a certain very particular lens. My lens has now been widened and broadened, and I think that's really awesome. I think that's a great thing that this video has taught me and shown me and reminded me of what it's like to be on this side of the camera and then on the other side, since I am on both sides, you know. I do watch YouTube. I do have people that I watch. And then in reacting, obviously I come across a lot of content. And then also me being a creator, a content creator, it really put more perspective on the different hats and the different places and different perspectives that I share in all of those respective places. But let me know your thoughts, yikes, down below in the comment section. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Let me know. If you like that video, check out the link in the description box below. If you'd like for me to check out another one, let me know who I spent a day with, and let me know who. If you like this video, hug the life out of that like button. I love you guys as always, and until next time, buddies, toodles.